Hello there, Saber Forge Conditioning. I just thought I'd do a little video blog on the different lightsabers that I currently own and talk about each one a little bit and what drew me to them, why I like them, how they fit my way of using a lightsaber. So jumping right in, I want to show you actually the very first lightsaber that I ever got is this, which is an Ultra Sabers, and I believe it was actually a grab bag. This is a Dominic's LE, and it's quite heavily modified because I've got I think it's an Archon pommel on here, and then I sent it away to Jordan recently, and I had sound put in it because originally it was a stunt, had the annoying black plastic switch up here, annoying for me at any rate. So I had him do some things to it, and he's improved it in a number of ways, funnily enough. One, I think, was kind of accidentally, in that he moved the blade retention screw, so now this actually has two. Put a cover tech on it, put sound in it. It's in, I think it's got an Anabiscotti in it.
You have been well trained.
And it's got two fonts. I can't honestly remember what they are, to be honest with you. But one of them is like a Palpatine font, and the other one is, I believe, Dark Apprentice. I've got it in deep red, because I already had some red sabers. It's a really nice two-handed saber, and that is what drew me to this idea, because I've always had an interest in sort of Japanese swords and samurai and that kind of thing. So, to be honest, it felt really, really comfortable. And Shicho is one of my favorite styles because it's very, very simple and it's very direct. And I feel it sort of fits that style. So I like the way it feels. It's been thrown around, dropped multiple times, resulting in an awful lot of press-ups. And I just love this saber. It's still probably my go-to two-hander, funnily enough. So that's that one. Now, moving on, we have a saber that is the very first saber I got from Saber Forge. This is a Venom, Saber Forge Venom, and it's got the original Venom claws on it. It's a little bit poorly, so it may not work, but funnily enough, it actually has. Needs some TLC, needs a new board putting in it really, but money is tight at the moment. It's a saber that I love the look of. I love the sort of grenade grip section down here, and yes, I know I'm burning my fingers off, but there you go. I've got Cortos's fingers. I love the claws, and I just love everything about this saber. It's another fantastic two-hander, another brilliant saber for Shicho, but this is the one I started learning Makashi on, with all of the kind of, various moon guards and corona, chromosphere, photosphere kind of stuff. As I say, does need a bit of TLC, but it's a lovely saber. I do love it to bits. I will get it repaired at some point properly so that it works correctly. But first saber I got from Saber Forge, it's very, very resilient. Put it with a lot of beatings from me. And again, perfect for Shicho for me, even despite having claws. It's really comfortable as a two-hander. Works well as a one-hander. I've got quite a long blade in it at the moment, but funnily enough, even with a long blade, because you can hold it a long way up, it works perfectly for that, when it works correctly. Now the next saber probably doesn't look like much, but it's actually very, very special. This is another Ultra Sabers. This is an Eon version 2, but it's been modified by me. I put this leather grip on here with some rubber rings to kind of hold it in place. This belonged to my late father, Gordon, and I held on to it after he sadly passed away in 2013. It has an awful lot of sentimental value. Aside from that, it's another fabulous two-hander. It's quite slim as well, so it's slimmer than the version 3s that Ultra Sabers did. This one is in, as you can see, Arctic blue. Another fantastic saber for two-handed. Works for the one-handed Makashi stuff. You know, works great with that. It's got, again, like the Dominic's now has, it has two retention screws, and it's the first saber I had that had that. So the blade is really secure in there. So hopefully, won't be losing my blade anytime soon. It is a stunt. I'm not going to get anything done to it. It's nice to have a stunt saber that you can, you know, mess around with. You don't have to worry too much about. Just feels awesome. It's got a very long blade in it, but still moves around nicely. Again, it fits my way of sabering, which is generally either Shicho or Makashi. It is very nice for orbits as well. Obviously, can't really do much in this amount of space, but it works nicely for them and your little sort of round the head stuff. It's good to maneuver around. Very light, very, very robust. That's the one thing I can say about the Ultra Sabers. I found them to be really, really robust. You can bash them about. Certainly the stunt versions, you can bash them around, and I certainly have them. But very special saber for a number of reasons. Now, moving on, this is another Saber Forge. I just love the design. This is a Mark I Gladius, which I got from Daniel Lane, and I love the design of this. It actually started out life red, but I had him change it over to yellow. It's a stunt again. Who knows, at some point I might get sound in this. It's really comfortable as a two-hander, so you can see a sort of theme developing largely with me, that it's sort of two-handed kind of things. Ultra comfortable as a spinning saber again. You can do anything with it. It's got a cover tech on it, so it hangs nicely on the belt, and it's a beautiful belt hanger as well. It's a really, really gorgeous saber. Very reminiscent of, I believe, one of the sabers in the Star Wars The Old Republic games. May have been the inspiration for this at Saber Forge, but I got it in yellow because I didn't have a yellow saber, or at least I got it changed into yellow. So that's another one that I really like. Now, moving on to sound again is this. I saw this hilt on the Saber Forge website and had to have it. This is the old style Justicar, Saber Forge Justicar. As you can see, I've got it pimped up in quite a unique finish. It's chrome and gold. Again, props to Daniel Lane for a fabulous job on this. This reminds me very much of a Jedi Council member's saber. It's very sort of Luminara Unduli, or possibly Kit Fisto kind of style, without actually being either of those sabers. I got it in sound. This is running a saber called Viridian, and I've got a short blade in this because I'm actually going to start using this saber a lot more for Makashi, and you know, it moves around nicely with a short blade. This is it's a 28, I think it's a 26 or 28 inch blade. Comes out at 24 for this length. It works lovely as a two-hander. Again, really suits that. And if I put a longer blade in it, I usually use either 27 28s or the 32s, because I'm not that tall. I'm only like 5'9" or something. So I find that 37-inch blades are just ridiculous for me. I bang on the ground. So with this, I usually have it as a two-hander, and it works lovely for that as a Shicho hilt. Again, bit of a nod to Kit Fisto, who was known as a Shicho master. But I think because my focus generally now is Makashi, that with a short blade, this will work, really nicely, for, as you can see, it's very comfortable. It's quite wide, but without that being necessarily a problem. So again, I love this saber to bits. I love the design of it. I love the job Daniel did on it for me, and it fits once again in the two sort of styles that I tend to focus on. Obviously, if you're combining and you're going into Form 5 Gemso, then you're combining elements of Shicho and Makashi and that sort of thing anyway. So it would work for that too, I think. But you can do anything with it. I don't tend to reverse grip it, but then I'm not a big reverse grip kind of person. Fantastic saber, I love it to bits. Now we move on to the curves. And anybody who knows me on the group or anywhere online knows I love my curved sabers, I should say. This is my Saber Forge Bane Mark 1. Some people nicknamed the Deadly Prawn. I love this saber to bits. It has had so much use and so much bashing around from me. It has a Spark Color 2 board in it as well, which is kind of fun because it means, if I can get to do it, there it is, you can color change, which is fab. Color changing on a curved saber with a Spark board is a nightmare because they put this thing in it where you do a wrist rotation and you have to rotate the board sensors and it picks that up and changes the color. Try doing that in a curved hilt. It's a nightmare. It's especially as I think the board sits down here. It's got red and blue dyes in it, so it will either do purple or it will do the blue that you saw earlier on, or it will do red, which of course is a color that I use a lot. Fabulous saber. Actually works really nicely as a two-hander, although the cover tech tends to get in my way a little bit, but works nicely as a two-hander. Has a very, very shallow blade depth. So I don't like putting a 32 in this because it looks ridiculous. It comes out to about here. Looks ridiculous. Can be done though, but I don't. It's not what I tend to go with. This is very much a Makashi hilt. Again, you've got all your sort of rotating and what have you. Love it to bits. This is again a short blade, a 28-inch, and it's pretty much for, I don't know how long I've had this now, maybe 18 months, 2 years. This is definitely my go-to Makashi saber. Love it to bits. Again, brilliant job done on it by Daniel, and I've got it in the same color as the Justicar. I've got it in the silver and the gold. Now we kind of come to my two babies, as it were. The first of which is this. I've got a long blade in this because I've run out of short blades. This is the Bane Mark II. This is the updated version of the Bane, and I got this from Phil Isherwood. It is in a very swanky black and polished chrome finish. This has got the Saber Core 3.0 board in it, so you, instead of, as with the Spark 2, you've got, I think it's 5 sound fonts. I think I've got Father, Son, Essence 1, Essence 2, 501 Commando, All Too Easy, and Standard Issue. This has 3 sound fonts in it. It's got, let me think, it's got Dark Side Relic, it's got Ominous, and it's got Ruiner. And I know some of those are by Shamin. And totally different system on this. This has a, you can see this. This has a micro USB charging port, which is a totally new thing that they've started doing at Saber Forge with this particular tier. As you can hear, you can actually change the volume. This seems quite quiet at the moment, but absolutely fabulous saber with a long blade. Because they've designed it to work for two hands, the long blade works really well for that. It's a little harder with the one-handed stuff, I find. The other thing that's a little odd about this one is the grips, as you see, are very, very deep. And I haven't quite got used to that yet, because I tend to move my grip around quite a lot. So I haven't quite got used to the fact that once you grip it, you're kind of in position. It's something for me to work on, and it makes spins a little bit more awkward, because I have a tendency to let go too much when I do spins, which I really shouldn't do. But as I say, it's got some funky little force effects which I can get them to work. Got lock up, and obviously blaster deflection. The flash on clash with this isn't a colour flash on clash. What it does is it kind of increases the brightness of whatever colour blade you've got. So I've got standard red in here, so that's quite sort of funky and fun. And then the lock up. And the other one is kind of Darth Nihilus kind of Sith language, which is kind of fun. And both sabers that I have with this board do that. Beautiful saber. I mean, it's got to be one of the most spectacular looking sabers I've seen. Love the design. As I say, for me, the only thing that's a little weird is this gripping, but it's a little something for me to get used to. So that is the Bane Mark II, and then we have this. Now, I'm sure you recognize what this is. This is the Count, Saber Forge Count, based on Count Dooku's lightsaber. As a Makashi stylist and a fan of Dooku, had to have this saber, just no question about it. Fabulous job they've done on it, and I love it to bits. Super stupid loud. Again, ridiculously bright. I've got 32 blade in here. If you hold it far enough up, that's absolutely fine. You know, that works. Very comfortable for all the things you want to do. You can't be a Count Dooku fan without a curved saber, I think. Well, you can, but you know what I mean. And I'm so pleased to have this saber. It's just utterly spectacular. Same setup as the Bane Mark II. It's got the Saber Core 3.0, so it's got the 3 sound fonts, the blaster deflection is the same, etc. The nice thing about this system, the actual recharge is in the pommel here. I can get the light to shine it right. It's actually down there. So you can plug it in, change the flash, change the blade settings so that you can have a flicker or whatever you choose. You can change the sound volumes, and of course you can completely change the fonts. And at some point I will have probably Lord Blako's Dooku on this. I definitely need a Dooku font on it, but it's fabulous. Again, my reason for choosing it is because A, Count Dooku, B, Makashi, and it also is really comfortable two-handed. So the Gemso stuff, sort of Shicho with teeth, is, or Shicho with added bits, works really well with this. It's extremely comfortable, so loving this to bits. And very recent addition. Now finally, before I bore you to death with this video, I thought it worth showing you this. This is my Saber Staff, and there's no way I'm spinning this round in here. This has got two 24-inch, this is an Ultra Sabers Phantasm LE, silver and gold. We probably start to notice a theme with this because I tend to go black and silver or silver and gold. That tends to be my thing. This I have in dark violet amethyst. So it's a stunt. I basically, oops daisy, I basically wanted a Saber Staff. I'm a big fan actually of Darth Maul in Star Wars Phantom Menace, and I wanted to play around with some Saber Staff things, and I needed also I wanted one where I could split it in half and use it, do some dual wielding things. But I use this mostly as a staff now, and it's an absolute nightmare trying to line the switches up. It takes forever, and you can never really get them totally lined up. But I also wanted a slightly odd colour, so hence this probably looks a little blue on camera, but it is actually purple. It's the dark purple that they do. It was relatively inexpensive for a staff. It's quite lightweight. Again, I'm not very tall. This, with the 24-inch blades, sits just below my total height. So it's ideal for that, and it's enabled me to do a little bit of spinning and exploring, experimenting with the Saber Staff things. So yeah, so that's my little collection of lightsabers. It's every one that I currently possess. There will undoubtedly be other ones that I add. Stylistically, I'm definitely a sort of Shicho Makashi kind of guy. Shicho with the sort of two-handed, sort of katana-esque Iaido style things, and Makashi sort of one-handed European fencing, bow and side sword kind of stuff. As I've said before, I don't have any formal training in that, except obviously I studied with TPLA for 4 years. But I watch videos constantly. I'm watching you guys constantly and Daniel constantly, and picking stuff up off of people. So, which I guess is what we all do, So I hope you've enjoyed this little walk around my little Saber collection, and I'm really looking forward to seeing yours. So until next time, may the force be with you.